So what is happening, people? Hey guys, we are at Kerr Lake again today, and we are in Nutbush Creek this morning. I have not fished in this area ever, so we're trying to crappie fish. I got Michaela with me today, and she met me here for Father's Day. It's Friday, and happy Father's Day to everybody. Hey, we appreciate all the support we get for this channel. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and subscribe to the channel. So here again, right along with some of the videos that we've been doing for the past few weeks, is coming to a new area and being able to be successful in catching some crappie. And what we did this morning is rode around and fish some areas. I'm just using my side scan. If you're new to my channel, you can look down and see where I use side scan, down imaging to find these brush piles. I just marked one here a few minutes ago. It's not a big brush pile, and we're going to ease up here and see if we can catch some crappie on it. Water is relatively clear, and so we're going to be using natural bait colors. And Michaela's already caught a couple of nice fish this morning. And I hadn't even put a fish in the boat, and we found some underwater structure down the lake a little bit, some old bridge pilings under the water. And anyway, hey guys, stick with us. Hey, let's go catch a fish. Now real quick, here's the rig. I got a big split shot, boom, right there. Actually, it's got a knot in it, and got that Barbie Garland straight tail on. And you notice I'm downwind. I've marked the area, and I've had this question on the channel before about how to approach vertical structure, and I did a video on it. So you notice the wind's coming across the lake here. My boat's to this side, and my buoy marker is off the brush by about 10 feet. So I'm gonna just ease back up there. I caught the fish, the wind blew me out, blew me away. Worked the fish up, put him in the live well, then we're gonna move right back up, drop right back in, just past that buoy, down on the fish. And boys, nice. Looking at what you can do. Boom! And didn't even have a camera up. Right. So there's the first drop right there. Boom. Nice crappie. That's, you know, that's a 13-inch crappie right there. Just marked. That's the first drop on that brush pile right there. So we came back out from some deep structure, took a little break, and we want to check this bridge. I've never fished this bridge, and so the sun's up pretty high, so we're gonna fish around. Looks like we got about 14 feet of water, so it could hold some crappie here in this shade. And you know me, I love to fish a bridge. And so if crappie are here and they're feeding, it ain't gonna take you but just a few minutes to feed. And then we got some brush that we marked coming up that we're gonna check on the way back. There he is right there. Boom. Oh, not quite what we're looking for, a little small crappie. Just a little dink. That was a little better. You ain't got a bite? Oh.
A little one bumping it.
Set the hook. So anytime you get around a bridge, now we've been fishing around this bridge pilot for a few minutes, and you know, having a little bit of success, but I noticed evidently the shad's coming out of this creek behind me, and I noticed when we pitch up to the far end and let it come this way back to us, we get bit much more quicker than if we just vertical jigging whether we're in the shade line throwing to the pilot and coming back. So anytime you're fishing vertical structure or fishing a bridge pilot structure like this, sometimes direction makes all the difference in the world. So just keep that in mind as you're out fishing. So let's ease back up here and catch another fish. Oh, got him?
Just barely.
Double. Boom. So let's quickly take a look at how these crappie are relating to this bridge in this shade. So you can see that's the cross member above. You see that water crab? That's crappies right there. Let me zoom in just a little bit on that screen. You can see that's crappies moving around right there. And let's see if we can drop a lure in on them now. We've been fishing these fish for a while. I'll turn that back around. And you'll notice, we'll back out. I'm going to just pan up. You'll notice, see that shadow line out there? Those fish are hanging in that shadow line. That's what they are. That's what they're seeking, is that shadow. And you can see it's a piling just to my left. And we'll just lower this lure down. And I think you can see the lure going down right there. See those fish react to it. Lure down right there, boom, and I got that crappie right there. You can hear him on top of the water, boom. And so sometimes it's just that simple. Now when you fishing bridge pilings, not every one of them is going to hold crappie. There may be some subtle difference. Alright, so I'm going to drop back just a little bit. I'm going to take a look at that. Here again, I'm fishing a heavy split shot, vertical jigging. We'll come back to that piling to the left. You can see the fish just kind of hanging all around it. I don't know. Piling may hide. Sometimes you get around these pilings, this live scope, you can't actually see the lure falling, and I'm basically just letting the lure right down in on top of the fish. See, they're not deep. They're only 6 feet deep. Boom, right there. There comes another one up. Just that simple, folks. let's see if we can let that lower right down. See, it's just a lot of crappie down there. We're just gonna let it down right. Boom. There comes a fish up. You know, there's a fish right there on top of the water that I just caught, and you know, that's one of the nice things about having this live scope. I can come up here and look really quickly to see if there's any crappie relating to this bridge right here. And you know, and if sometimes you come up here and there's a lot of crappie and they just not feeding. That's just fishing. But you see that there's a lot of fish hanging out and they're not hitting. Guess what? We moved to another place. Now look, let me show y'all something. Now look. Now Michaela is fishing about a 16th or 8th ounce jig head. Not sure which. And so when she casts that up there, she's got to count like 5 or 6 and then start winding and let it sink. You can see, and I'm still fishing the same rig I was just fishing, 20 feet of vertical structure. Heavy sinker, heavy head, you know, that's probably almost a 1/4 of an ounce. So what I'm doing is this rod's 10 foot, you see? So I can't just cast this up here and count 5 seconds. It'd be, you know, be done sank 12 foot deep. I'm using the rod to help control the fall of the lure. Now I could take this weight off, or I could change jig heads, but I might not be here that much longer. We have some other places we want to fish. So now just watch this presentation. So I've got about 7 feet of line out. Remember, I always say control the fall of the lure. All right, I'm gonna lay it out there. Let a little line out. Now look how high my rod tip is. Keeping my rod tip up high. I'm lowering the rod tip slowly and just feeling for a bump. And if I want to get a little deeper, I can allow the rod tip to lower just a little bit more. Feeling for a bite. We didn't get bit that time. So we're gonna do it again. Control the fall. Gonna lay it out there. Boom, right at the end. I'm gonna let out a little line and swing the boat. Now I'm just, boom, just like that right there. See how I was controlling the fall? Boom, boom, just like that. We got a crappie out. Now, you know, that's a keeper fish. That's a 9.5 inch crappie. Fix my lure. We're gonna do it again. Controlling the fall with this rod, this heavy lure. Because I can guarantee you one thing, if I flip this up and just let it go, it's going to fall so fast I'm not going to get a bite. So here again, see I got 8 feet of line out. Here again, controlling the fall. Lay it in the water just like this. Lift the rod one time. Now flip the bail. Now I'm just feeling and allowing that lure is falling through the water slowly. Boom. Got bit, missed him. I'm going to let it keep falling. I'm still lowering the rod. It's still in the strike zone. I'm lowering the tip of the rod, lowering the tip of the rod. And he probably boogered up my lure. So you see a lot of times that's what happens. So you have to check your lure. You can see these fish are kind of stationed out right off the corner of that pilot. Here again, I'm controlling the fall. I don't know if you can see the end of the rod. Controlling the fall through the strike zone. Waiting to get bit. I didn't get bit that time. Oh, yeah, I did. Now I'm going to switch up rods with Michaela. So we're getting ready to end this video. It's probably around 1:30. We may fish under the bridge. So it got hot today, really hot. We came to the bridges. We fished both bridges here at Nutbush, caught crappie at both. This little small bridge behind me has been very productive. A lot of 8 to 10 inch fish, maybe some in the 10 and a half. We caught some in deeper water on brush that were a little bigger. And all in all, if we were keeping fish, we'd probably have 25 fish 9.5 to 10.5 inches long. We've caught a lot of fish today. We caught the fish around these bridges in that shade. And the Nutbush area is unlike the Longwood area at Kerr Lake. I only spent about an hour riding around looking for underwater brush, and I didn't find those huge brush piles. I'm sure they're here, but I haven't spent 3 or 4 hours of my time looking around. Michaela don't get to come fishing very often, so I didn't want to spend a lot of time this morning actually finding a lot of brush piles. I can come back and do that when I'm by myself. So anyway, I want to make sure she caught some fish. We fished natural colors, we fished curly tails. We caught these crappie around the bridges, pitching to them and allowing the lure to fall. We also caught them vertical jigging. Didn't seem like it made a huge difference which way we fished. I caught some on jigging spoon. I caught a few that way. So they bit pretty good around these bridges. And we marked some deeper structure out in some deeper water. Caught some nice fish, but when we drop down, you catch one fish and it'll be fish there. You wouldn't catch any more. So if you come to the area, crappie love the shade. So this afternoon, like 6 or 7 o'clock on these steep bluffs like you see behind me, it's going to create some shade in the water. That's where you're going to find the crappie. And so some of these boat docks may hold crappie, but anyway, if you come down looking around, it's a big area to cover. This is the first time I've been to this area, and I was very successful, very happy with the amount of fish that we caught today. So hey guys, like I said earlier in the video when we started, this is the first time I've been to this area, so don't be afraid. I hope by watching these videos, it'll give you confidence that you can go to an entirely new area, ride around and be successful and catch some fish. And the main thing to do is think, where is the crappie gonna be? Remember, this is summertime, water's warm, think shade. First of all, think shade. Deep water, shade. Closer to dark it gets, these crappie will move out up to the banks. You know, it's about an hour and a half drive for me to get here, so I'm not gonna stay till dark today. We may come back and fish some afternoon. So we got here kind of early this morning. But anyway, that's just a tip. If you come down here, summertime, look for shade, boat docks, bridges, and then deep structure under the gut. So anyway, guys, hey, we appreciate all the support we've been getting for this channel. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Share this channel with someone that you know that likes fishing, enjoys outdoor activities. Like I said, we couldn't do this channel without you guys watching and supporting this channel. Hey guys, you remember, it's a wildlife, and I'll see you on the water.